So I've got the Model 4 sufficiently put back together. We can power the system up and to begin to do some testing. I have a copy of the Model 4 Diag disc here. It's got a memory test and other kind of stuff on it. And a couple of blank floppies we'll use to test the floppy drives. So let's go ahead and power the system up. Just trying to access the floppy drive. It said, hey, there's no disk. We'll try again. It's loading the ROM image. So remember, the Model 4 has just a boot ROM in it, and it's got to load that, I think it's 12K ROM image into memory that the normal Model 4 actually had in ROM on the motherboard. The Model 3, the Model 1, etc. So it's got to load that image. Trying to keep an eye on video. There it is. Trying to keep an eye on video quality. Hopefully it looks like the camera's picking it up. So we're going to go 11, what is it, the 30th today, and we'll say 1984. And there's the menu. So we got a communications test, a drive and memory test, an end-of-life test, floppy disk alignment, hard drive diagnostic, I/O port, video, and keyboard diagnostic. I think first thing I'm going to drop immediately the Tristos. You just press every key on the keyboard. This is positive so far that keys are working. We know enter works, clear. I'm not seeing key bounces or difficult. Oops. Right shift is working, left shift is working. Let me hit the keypad here. Oops, that was return on the keypad. Looks to me like everything is working, which is an excellent sign on the keyboard. Well, it's not going to do any good. Let's see if I can actually get back in. I think main will get us back in. So let's go ahead and take first a look at memory. So I'm going to hit D to get the drive and memory diagnostics. It wants caps lock on, I believe. Let's see, 64 128K memory diagnostic is number 2. Well, that little piezo speaker can actually do things. So we can see here, I believe I've got the checksums of the ROMs. I think BCD9 might be the boot ROM, and then the other 3 be the 12K. Not totally sure of that. It is recognizing 128K. On the motherboard, I don't know what LP is. But I'm assuming if this sees an error, it will stop. So I can hear the floppy motor spinning up and stopping, spinning up and stopping during the testing. We can see the bank number changing here. So it's starting up the floppy motors and stopping them to create noise on the power supply. So the load increases and decreases, and if there's issues with filtering on the power supply, that might cause the 5-volt rail to get noisy and cause the machine to crash. But so far, that all looks good. I don't see an issue here. How do I get out of this? I guess the easiest way is a restart. So that's a positive sign. $11.30.84. video and keyboard diagnostic. Take a peek and see what that does. I don't have a graphics card. High-res video and keyboard test. Model 4 video. Let's go to I. Let's see what's in this menu. Okay. That doesn't look... Oh, okay, there it is. It just took a while to draw. Keyboard test. Press the shift, control. Oh, interesting. Be sure to press F1 twice. F2, F3. That wasn't much of a test. Doesn't respond to the rest of the keys except for R that returns. Okay, there's nothing too exciting here. This is the 32 column mode. This looks to be okay. 40 column mode. Yep. .64 column mode, which is back to what the original Model 1 was, 64 column by 16 line, I believe. I hope I have that right. And 80 character mode. So that looks correct as well. Fast. Hit any key to change the speed of the clock. No idea what that's really meant to do. I do observe 2 sets of digits. Alternate character sets. Well, it looks to me like that is all. No, I don't see a return. So we'll reset again. So far, things look good. So. I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit on these, or apologies. You can see that it had drooped a little bit. So let's see drive and memory tests. Floppy disk drive diagnostics is on D. Formatted disks and drives. Which of course is why I have the 2 scratch floppies. Press enter. Test a selected track. Okay, I want to enable drive 0 and 1. You can see up here on the top that they've been enabled. Test a selected track. I did not hear the head step on the B drive. I've been playing with some of these diagnostics earlier, and I think the B drive has issues, and I was wondering if the heads were stepping, and that didn't seem to make a noise. Why does this seem to be hung up? Drive 1. Yeah, drive 1's definitely having issues. Like I said, I suspected it was. Just in a quick previous play with the machine. Oh, it can't boot because there's no bootable media. I'm reaching around the camera. I don't think I bumped it so far. It's always fun having a tripod kind of between the device you're working on and yourself. Blanks. Formatted disks are in. I'm going to select drive 0. I'm going to toggle read write. And I guess we'll hit S to test some tracks. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear the head stepping. So let's turn off drive 0 and enable drive 1 and run the same test. And it's not even able to verify track 0. And it looks to be hung up again. So that seems to be crashing the diag. Let's take the floppy that read good before. Reset again. That may be hanging. If the head isn't stepping back to track 0, I'm convinced the heads aren't stepping. I could certainly be wrong. I've just never heard them step, and the problem is with them in the drive, I can't actually see where the head is at. Let's remove the system disk so I don't accidentally write on it. We've effectively swapped the floppies. So on drive 1, we have the floppy we were able to read before. Test some tracks. So we saw it read from sector 0 to sector 18. And then just stop. Yeah, something's really not happy here. We have something else to chase. It's going to, I think, mean removing the floppies from the unit. Such is life. But I'm glad to see the machine making this much progress. This is still nice. Quick return to Tristos. Just make sure I'm not going to write the 0 accidentally. Okay, I'm hearing the head step now. It's just very quiet, but there's definitely a thump. So this is interesting. I've got the contrast and brightness way down here. At least looking at the LCD on the camera, it looks like we can see the screen just fine. There's not a whole lot of reflection that I can see on the screen. I'm sure there's some there. Yeah, I definitely hear the so this is curious. Christoph Reddy, definitely hearing the head step. How to copy a disk in Tristos. It's been way too long. There's definitely source drive number is 0, destination drive number is 1. I just formatted it. I don't know, I might, well, okay, that didn't work. Backup from drive 0 to drive 1, and it's saying I must reformat. No clue. I mean, I can definitely hear a little thump. And it's right after verify sector 18. It definitely says it's formatting, so it's not just reading it, and if it's formatted, moving on. I was playing a bit earlier. I wonder if I had a bad floppy. I don't know. I'll take this. This is a good sign. If we can actually make a backup to drive B and boot from it, I would be happy. Definitely heard the head step back to track 0. It's going to read the disk. There's 128K in the machine. I don't remember how much these drives hold. Definitely doing it. You always forget how slow floppies were until you actually work with them. Remember, floppies, as the price became reasonable, almost seemed like miracles. Although I also remember a box of 10 floppy disks costing close to $50. So the machine has single-sided, there's 180K drives in it. They're 40 track, 18 sector. It looks like, at least by the formatting here. I'm assuming it would support double-sided drives. I have some 5 1/4 inch double-sided drives that I think are very similar to these in look. It makes me wonder if swapping in double-sided drives would be worthwhile here, or even maybe replacing the A drive with a floppy emulator. Don't know. I also have a hard drive emulator that I plan to eventually get hooked onto the system, which really negates the need for a floppy emulator, as you can just pull the, I think it's secure digital media out of it to your PC and add files, remove files. It's been a while since I played with it. Bartlett Labs, we looked at this in videos way back when on my Model 4. The M3 SE, I think, Model 3 System Expander, I think that's what it was called. There's the M1 SE, I think, and the M3 SE. Bartlett Labs. Well, it thinks it copied it. Maybe that drive is okay after all. And whatever we were seeing happen in the diagnostics there, I don't know, that's weird. As an artifact of the diagnostics, can we boot from what we just made a backup of? We can. Well, that's a pretty good sign. Says the alignment's at least close enough between the two drives that I can format and copy in the one drive and boot from that same disk in the 0 drive. I don't know what end of line test is. We'll play with that last. I'm actually happy to have a backup of the diag disk. Please wait a moment while I get set up. Wow, it feels like a Windows installer. Enter the letter of the test you wish to run. Basic test. I have no idea what it's doing. No idea. Well, it was interesting to see the camera sync versus the monitor sync there while the screen was all white. Well, I don't know what else to poke at here. We're 24 minutes into this video. That's plenty. Happy with where we've ended up so far. So I'll catch you in a future video.